how runners spend the 48 hours before the marathon? We did too. So we asked 7 runners, from Olympian to newbie, how they handle everything, from food to nerves and everything in between. Meet our runners.
I'm Kenny. I'm a 27-time marathoner.
My name's Jess. I'm training for my first marathon. It's my first time that I've run up to 36 kilometers right now, and that last 6, including the finish line, is a big unknown.
Hi, I started running more seriously 6 years ago after a friend challenged me to run a half marathon.
I am JP Bedard. I've run 85 marathons now and lots of ultra marathons as well.
Hi, my name is Kate Gustafson and I'm with Stevenson Performance Running.
Hi, I'm Nicole Stevenson, head coach of Stevenson Performance Running, head coach of the Angels, a high performance group out of Toronto, and head coach of the Black Toe Racing Team.
What is your pre-race dinner?
I tend not to eat pasta during my entire training until 3 days before the marathon. So if you look at my diet 48 hours before a marathon, it is basically carb heavy.
So here, you don't want to change too much from what you normally do. Small tweaks, maybe add about 10% more carbohydrates, increase your fluid intake again by about 10 to 15%, and just relax. And don't try anything new at this point.
I try and keep it pretty simple, eating something that I know is not going to upset my stomach, nothing too heavy. I want to make sure I will be full enough, but generally just no new things.
The day before a marathon, do you like to go for a run?
No, I've done it once and I had a horrible race.
Yeah, I always run the day before the marathon and 2 days before. I usually run every day of the week leading up to the marathon unless I'm traveling.
You choose one of either day to take off with no running. So maybe go for a run 2 days before, and again, keep it light, get in a few strides, burn off your extra energy just from the nervousness of being ready to race.
How much sleep do you get the night before the marathon and 2 days before the marathon?
About 48 hours leading into the marathon. That's the big night that I really try to get a good solid 7 hours.
2 days before a marathon, I usually try to get the most amount of sleep, 8 to 10 hours, because the night before a marathon, I'm probably not going to sleep more than 6 or 7.
So try and sleep well as much as possible the 2 nights before, and just do the best I can the night before.
I've had bad experiences just with eating too late and having a really early morning race and only getting 2 hours of sleep. And I still ran well, so if your sleep is consistent up until the night before the marathon and you get nervous, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Do you do any course visualization?
Visualizing the course is so key to success. You want to be familiar with the start line, the finish line. I will have looked at the map definitely in the week leading up to my marathon, but I'll also know, what are the key turns at the start if I need to be familiar with those. Is there any downhill, uphill that I need to know of?
If I'm going somewhere new like Japan and I won't be able to access the course, then I'll watch some YouTube videos and just get an idea of what it's going to be like out there. And I really try to find out using the course map on the website where the water stations and where I'm going to be able to pick up my bottles, key landmarks and turns.
Yeah, so before I run a race, I like to make sure I know generally the profile of the course. I like to know if there are major hills, what type of turns there are. For races long in a marathon, it's actually good to sort of break it up so a flat area that's covered, area that has a lot of sun. I like to make sure I know where the water stations are.
Do you talk to your coach or anybody else the day before the marathon or in the couple days leading up to the marathon?
Think about your support crew before the race. So whether it's your spouse, your friends, your running coach, these are your go-to people. They're going to know you really well, know what you need to hear to boost your confidence, and to make sure that you run that race plan the way you've decided to do it.
This is my first time having a real coach program. I've been involved in other programs, but having that level of support, I'll definitely be asking questions in the days leading up to, asking my Black Toe running teammates, basically asking everyone who runs around me how to prepare for it.
I will talk to my coach. I want to go over everything that I've done to this point, I'm going to get confidence from them to know that I'm ready. I also will maybe talk to my mom or my dad. They've been at multiple marathons. Yeah, you want to surround yourself with people who believe in the goal you're about to tackle.
I don't like hanging around with other marathoners who kind of stress me out as we're waiting for the marathon to start. So I try to surround myself with my friends who are a little bit more laid back.
Next up, I asked them about their nerves.
Before most marathons, I do get nervous at some point. If it's a big marathon, then like the Olympics, I'll start getting nervous maybe a couple days out. And other times, I haven't been as nervous as I wanted to be, and I'll listen to some music to pump me up, or just think about the race a lot, and start to get excited. And I know I'm going to be nervous every single race I go to. You get to the line, you're gonna get nervous. So I try to embrace it.
I get very nervous the couple of days before the race. I think 48 hours is really hard. I just can't help but think about the race all the time.
No, I don't get nervous. And a lot of the reason why is because I've gone through this quite a few times. I've actually run more than 100 world races. I have to say at the early end, I was really nervous, but I do a lot of things now to prepare for races that calm my nerves.
We all handle nerves differently. Me, I'm a basket case before races, and everyone knows it, so I just steer clear and ask for forgiveness later.
Do you have any routines that you go through the day before the marathon or the morning of? Do you have any superstitions?
The morning of, I make sure I have 3 or 4 extra Band-Aids in the back of my shorts in the pouch, because I lined up for the New York Marathon one year and forgot to put Band-Aids on my nipples.
I usually wear the same clothes for racing. I have a pair of socks my boyfriend gave me, and I have the hat my best friend gave me. It's important for me to have them with me when I race. It's as if they were right beside me when I'm racing.
In 2012, I broke 3-hour marathon, and almost every day that I went for a run, I listened to an Imagine Dragons song on repeat. And I had to hear that song. I actually had left for the race, but I had to go back to my apartment and listen to it before I took the taxi to the start line.
Double check before I pack that I have everything, and then once I get to the hotel, I'll go through everything. Hopefully I have my bib number the day or two before. I can put that on my singlet, and I just don't want any surprises the day of the race, so I just make sure 2 or 3 times I have everything, and then it's one less thing to worry about going into the race.
Finally, I wanted to get an idea of the advice everybody would give for a first-time marathoner.
So for less experienced runners, especially running a marathon, the big thing is just to enjoy the experience. Soak it in, relax, go out easy, make this a positive experience for yourself. Start easy, finish strong, and just know it's going to be tough out there for sure, but you've done the work and this is all part of it. The rewards are going to be incredible.
The most important advice I would say is, take the pressure off yourself. Don't get totally stressed out about some mythical time goal that you've set for yourself during a race. So many things can happen.
So take a really good hard look at the training you've put in and know that you're ready. And then on race day, I know this is about preparing for your race, but race day, it's live in the moment. Live in the moment when you get up, when you're on your way to the race, when you're at the start line, and certainly in the last 500 meters of your race, be present and think about what you're doing and what you've accomplished.
As long as you enter a race with a plan, detailed or not, it'll help you navigate through your first marathon.
It's very important to feel that you've dealt perfectly with everything that is within your control, namely sleep, rest, food, and drink. You don't want to, at some point during the race, it feels hard. You don't want to feel that you should have done something differently.
I think the most important thing for pre-race prep would be to make sure you know where you're getting your drinks and your carbs. whether it's gels or whatever you're going to take, and just have a plan so you know you're going to get it, when you're going to get it. Maybe it's somebody giving it to you on the course, or you're taking it from the stations. But you're going to need a certain amount of carbs to get through the marathon. That's for sure.
You have any black toes right now?
Not right now. Maybe I'll have after my marathon.
Actually, I got 2 black toes. I only had one, but I've got another one starting up after the ultra marathon I just did on Saturday. My wife's not too impressed by the black toe.
A lady does not reveal her black toenails. That's all I can say about that.